Hey everybody, it's day 12 of our Christmas stories. I am not in my usual setting because I'm not at home and I didn't have time to read before I left. So I'm actually in the car, and because we couldn't do it driving down the road in the dark, we're sitting in the parking lot somewhere. So it's going to be a short story, but I'm sure it will be a sweet story. It's from Guide's Greatest Christmas Stories again, and it's called The Roller Skates. It was the day before Christmas, and Beth Wilson was in bed recovering from rheumatic fever. Her mother and her Aunt Doris were rushing about getting last-minute things ready for Christmas. Beth was helping by sitting up in bed and wrapping presents. "What about Carl?" Beth asked, referring to her cousin, one of Aunt Doris's 4 children. "Carl!" Aunt Doris said, was in dismay. "I was so busy looking for a train for Andy that I forgot about Carl. It's too late to buy anything now. The stores are closed." Beth snuggled down into her bed, wondering what could be done. Then she remembered the few times she had visited church and what she had heard about God. She had heard that when things looked impossible, God could help. "Dear God," she prayed silently, "please, some way, help Carl get a good Christmas present, one that he wants very much and will like a lot." As Beth lay there in bed, she began to daydream. She saw herself walk up the stairs to the attic. In her daydream, she opened the attic door and picked up her skates. She had used those skates only a few times before she had gotten rheumatic fever. She would never use them again. By the time she would be well enough to skate, she would be too tall to go zipping along the sidewalks on roller skates. Roller skates! Beth sat up. "Mother! Aunt Doris!" she called. They came running to her bedside. "Up in the attic," Beth said breathlessly. "Get my skates for Carl." In a few minutes, the skates were on Beth's bed. Mother found a shoebox, and Aunt Doris gave Beth some wrapping paper. Beth carefully wrapped the skates and then wrote Carl on a gift tag. Later that night, after the lights were out, Beth prayed again. "God, why didn't you get a present for Carl?" She didn't realize that her prayer had already been answered and that she had helped to answer it. On Christmas morning, Beth was awakened by a lot of noise. As the noise came closer, Beth knew it was Carl running up the stairs to the Wilsons' third-floor apartment. He was shouting at the top of his voice, "Look what I got! Look what I got!" When he reached Beth's bedside, he placed the shoebox on the bed and pulled off the top. Shaking with excitement, he took out the skates. "Look!" he exclaimed. "Roller skates! Just what I wanted! And look! On the straps! Soft stuff so my ankles won't get cut." He pointed to the sheepskin strips and then ran out of the room, eager to show his skates to his friends. As Charles' excited chatter faded into the distance, Beth suddenly realized that God had chosen her as a means to answer her own prayer. With her heart full of joy, she looked upward and whispered, "Thank you, God. Thank you so much." I love that. God is so good at answering our prayers, and sometimes He uses us to answer them. We need to remember this Christmas season that nothing is impossible with God. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow.